How's it going, folks? So, I've gotten a little bit behind lately, so this weekend is going to be a double header weekend. 2 videos today and 2 videos tomorrow, just so that I can kind of catch up. But anywho, first up we have Eons Enthroned. They recently released a brand new song here called One Way Out. I'm looking forward to checking this out. So, one way out, I mean, one way in, if you will. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, let's give this a listen. Rangers, go. pretty cool song. I liked it. I definitely liked it. And, I'll preface this by saying there really isn't anything wrong with this song. There really isn't. I think it could use a little something extra, but at the end of the day, there's not really anything wrong with it. So I kind of wanted to say that right off the rip. From the beginning of this song, it's got a really nice momentum, and that momentum carries through the whole song. And so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed being engaged from the beginning, and that engagement kind of keeping true throughout the whole song. So I was enjoying it all the way through. I was enjoying the energy of the song, and again the momentum of the song. So it was fun. The guitar riffs are pretty quick. The drum beats are pretty quick, and that really just keeps it pushing forward. You're never feeling like you're kind of lagging behind or kind of stuck in between things. Like they really kept that feeling from the beginning all the way to the end. So I enjoyed that a lot. I like the guitar work. I like the main kind of riffs. It's just speedy. It's quick. It's just propelling you forward, propelling the song forward. And I enjoyed that. And then I also really enjoyed the bridge, like the solos. They're really creative. There's a lot happening there in the bridge, in the solo area. It's not just like a one straightforward solo. There's a lot happening there. That's why I said it's creative. There's a lot of movement in that bridge that I thoroughly enjoyed. The melodies of the guitar solos and the guitar riffs in there in general. I really enjoyed that. The keyboard solo in there was awesome. All of that good stuff. I'll kind of come back to the bridge a bit later. But yeah, so I enjoyed the guitar work all the way through. It was great. I enjoyed that keyboard solo in there. And, it was funny, and now that I think about it, that keyboard solo in the bridge I thought was awesome. But again, now that I think about it, I didn't quite hear the keyboard as prominent in the rest of the song. Maybe that would have helped kind of spice things up a bit. So it's kind of interesting now that was the moment where the keyboard sort of kind of struck me. It was like, oh, cool, there's the keyboard. But I didn't think about it at the time that I hadn't really heard the keyboard until that point. Maybe it's there, but it just wasn't there. But again, I'll kind of come back to the bridge. So yeah, I really enjoyed the guitar work. The drum work was great. Again, kept that momentum moving, some good fills and things. So you kind of get to the verses, and I enjoyed the verses. Again, it really kind of just comes right out and keeps with the momentum of the song. The vocals were really great. I thought she has a really good voice, really suited the style. She does a really good job of having a quick kind of vocal delivery without it feeling muddied or strained or anything. She just really nailed that energy, that momentum of the music with her voice. So I thought the verses were really good. And it kind of moves in one thing I will say is like the verses and the chorus and whatnot, they feel kind of merged. It was hard, at least on the first listen, to really kind of distinguish between the verses and the chorus. Like, I got it, I did, but again, it's a very fine line there between the two. It works for the most part. It really does, but the whole song is kind of just about this speedy, somewhat energetic, kind of rapid pace sort of vibe. Musically and vocally. So I understand there being a pretty kind of invisible wall between the verses and the chorus. It kind of suits the style for the most part. So yeah, and I will say the song grew on me quite a bit by the end. Like after the bridge, the chorus hit a little bit better. Um, but at the end of the day, and this is why I was saying I'll come back to the bridge. It felt like the bridge had the most spice. Like the bridge had the most creative sort of element, the most the spot that really kind of jumped out at you. You know, the spot that really kind of demanded your attention and really changed things up a bit. Up until the bridge, I was enjoying the song, but getting closer to the bridge, my attention span was starting to drift a little bit because it felt like the song was staying pretty much the same. But once that bridge hit, it kind of shifted and really drew my attention again. And so after that, I was a little bit more engaged with the chorus or the vocal melodies and everything after the bridge for the most part. And that's why I feel like it grew on me more. With that being said, I really think the song could have benefited from a little bit more spice. Maybe in the vocal melody, maybe in the chorus, instead of really relying on the bridge itself, because again, it feels relatively static. Then you hit the bridge and you really get some movement in there. And then after the bridge, again, it's relatively static, but you're still kind of hanging on the high that you got from the bridge. So it gives the finale a little bit more flavor. But I think the song could have added that sooner. And would have just helped it more. Again, I think the chorus would have been the prime spot to add a little bit more movement, add a little bit more of a ear-catching melody or ear-catching just shift. Again, it doesn't have to just be like catchy for it to be good, but just a shift, just a little bit more movement in the chorus. I really think would have done wonders for the song, keeping the momentum, keeping the pace. I'm not saying like, oh, slow the song down or anything, but just add a little something in there that differentiates itself a bit more from the rest of the song. And I think that would have kept the engagement levels, much higher than it ended up doing. So yeah, at the end of the day, I did enjoy the song. I thought it was fun. I like the pacing. I like especially musically, the melodies. I like the vocals. I thought she did a fine job, hitting that kind of quick pace nature of the song. It just feels like it could have been jazzed up a bit, especially given that bridge. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was looking for sooner. Instead of just relying on the bridge to really capture that spirit. So yeah, if that was present a little bit sooner, maybe in the chorus, it would have given the song a bit more of a dynamic, a little bit more of a popping out sort of feel than just kind of like, okay, here we go. We're on this level here all the way up until the bridge. Then we get this, which is like, whoa, cool, what's happening? This is really great. And then we get this again. I would have just liked a little bit more movement sprinkled throughout the entire song. So ultimately, that's my thoughts. I still enjoyed it. Again, that's why I said there's really nothing wrong with it because it works. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But I do think it could use a little extra something that would take it to the next level. But anywho, not too shabby here. I'm very curious to know y'all's thoughts, so let's talk about it in the comments down below. What'd you think of this song? Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Ranger, out.